I watched Seth's face drain of color as our biggest client yelled through the phone, demanding answers about the disaster he'd turned in. Papers were scattered across his desk, formulas glitching, numbers collapsing into chaos each time he tried to fix them. He looked at me with panic in his eyes like a drowning man reaching for a lifeline, and all I said was, "Maybe it's just a glitch." What he didn't know was that I built the trap he fell into. And after months of being used, ignored, and walked on, I finally got justice. I work in a mid-sized corporate office, nothing glamorous, nothing fancy. Cubicles, fluorescent lighting that buzzes like an irritated wasp, stale coffee that always tastes burnt no matter who makes it, and a rotating cast of characters straight out of a workplace sitcom. But there was one person who stood out among them all, and not in a good way. His name wasn't really Seth, but that's what I'll call him. Seth was the archetype of every lazy coworker who somehow keeps a job through sheer audacity. The kind of person who walks in 20 minutes late, holding a smoothie, blaming unexpected traffic, even though everyone knows he lives 5 minutes away. The kind of guy who spends more time scrolling on his phone than actually doing anything remotely productive. The kind who takes multiple bathroom breaks longer than some lunch breaks. And yet, despite all of that, he always slid through untouched. No consequences, no accountability, no shame. When I first started at this company, I was optimistic. I liked my job. I loved solving problems, building spreadsheets, organizing data. I was good at what I did, and I thought that if I worked hard, people would notice. But Seth noticed first, just not in the way I wanted. At first, it was harmless. "Hey, can you take a quick look at this? Mind cleaning up these numbers?" I'm running behind. Small tasks, easy favors, and I said yes because, well, I wanted to be helpful, I wanted to be liked. I didn't want to rock the boat. But like a parasite sensing a warm host, Seth realized something dangerous. I never said no. Before I even realized what was happening, the requests became demands. Not "can you check this?" but "you'll finish this, right?" Not "would you mind helping?" but "I'm swamped, you'll take care of it." Suddenly, he was forwarding full project loads to me with messages like, "Hey, you're better at this anyway." What he meant was, "do my work so I can take credit." I tried to push back. I really did. I talked to my boss twice. Both times, Seth somehow wiggled out of it with fake charm and rehearsed excuses. I thought we were collaborating. I didn't mean to overwhelm them. Just a misunderstanding. And the worst part? My boss bought it. Little by little, I felt myself shrinking. Every day I came home exhausted, not from the work itself, but from the injustice of it. Then came the final straw. A major client report, one of those high-visibility, career-defining deliverables, was due in 2 days. A report Seth had been assigned over a month earlier. I was eating lunch at my desk when Seth walked up, fake smiling like he was about to gift me a puppy. He dropped a folder thick enough to break a spine right onto my keyboard and said casually, "Hey, could you wrap this up for me?" "It's due Friday." I stared at him. "Due Friday? Seth, that's huge. Why didn't you start this sooner?" He shrugged, literally shrugged. "You're better at this stuff anyway. I trust you." And then he walked away. Not a care in the world, whistling. Inside me, something snapped. My heartbeat hammered. My hands shook. I felt heat crawl up my neck like a fuse burning toward dynamite. I wasn't just angry. I felt used, erased, invisible. The truth hit me like a freight train. Seth didn't see me as a coworker. He saw me as free labor. And in that moment, I swore something to myself. This ends now. Later that day, I approached Seth casually. I forced a friendly smile, even though my jaw was clenched so tight it hurt. "Hey, Seth, quick question. How comfortable are you with Excel formulas?" He laughed. Like it was a joke. Like the idea of learning anything was beneath him. "Oh God, barely. I hate that stuff. Why?" "Perfect." I shrugged lightly. "Oh, just curious." Inside, gears were turning, a plan forming, a quiet storm gathering momentum. The next time he dumped a bunch of spreadsheets on me, smiling like a king handing off scraps, I said, "Sure, I'll handle it." But this time I didn't just work on them. I engineered them. I built hidden formulas embedded deep in the cells, calculated to scramble the data subtly every time someone tried to copy and paste without understanding how to inspect dependencies or references. Not dramatic enough to trigger warnings, not obvious enough to notice at a glance, but enough to corrupt everything if manipulated incorrectly. It was delicate, precise, elegant, the spreadsheet equivalent of a silent alarm system, one only a competent person could disarm. And Seth was not competent? On the day the report was due, Seth was chilling like always, feet practically up, scrolling on his phone, telling a story about how he was going to Vegas that weekend. He radiated smug confidence, because in his mind, I had done the work again. When the email alert chimed, I watched his expression shift. First confusion, then annoyance, then panic. Our client, one of our biggest accounts, was furious and demanding a call immediately. Seth opened the file. His face twisted in horror as numbers began shifting wildly like a slot machine gone berserk. He tried to copy cells, everything scrambled. He tried undoing. Worse, he slammed his hand on the desk. What the hell is happening? Then he turned slowly toward me, chest heaving. Did you mess with this? I blinked innocently. I don't know what you mean. I finished everything like you asked. Maybe there's a glitch somewhere? Watching him descend from cockiness to sheer terror was delicious. For 8 straight hours, Seth tore apart those spreadsheets like an animal chewing off its own leg in a trap. He sweat, he cursed. He looked like he might cry. And every time he tried to fix something, the formulas twisted the data again. It was controlled chaos, mathematical revenge. Eventually our boss stormed in, red-faced, demanding answers. The phone was on speaker. The client was livid, saying words like unprofessional and breach of trust and pulling the contract. Seth flailed. He stuttered. He blamed me. Our boss turned slowly toward me. Did you work on this? I paused, looked him dead in the eyes, and said calmly, Seth handled the report. He asked me to help organize the spreadsheets, but I assumed he checked everything before sending it to the client. Silence. Thick, electric silence. And then, for the first time since I'd worked there, Seth couldn't talk his way out of it. The boss ripped into him. Not a lecture, a public execution. And by the end of it, Seth was suspended without pay, not fired yet, but humiliated, exposed, crushed by his own incompetence. He wouldn't be dumping work on anyone again. Over the next few weeks, work felt different. The air felt lighter. People looked at me differently, not as the quiet pushover, but as someone who finally stood up. And the best part? Seth avoided me like I was radioactive. No more spreadsheets, no more fake smiles, no more parasitic freeloading. For the first time in months, I felt peace. Not just relief, but victory, justice, balance restored. Because sometimes the most satisfying revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, precise, strategic. Sometimes you don't destroy the enemy. You let them destroy themselves. I learned something powerful through all of this. People will only treat you as badly as you allow them to. Kindness without boundaries isn't kindness, it's self-sacrifice handed to the undeserving. And sometimes, the only way to teach someone respect is to let them feel the weight of their own actions. So no, do I feel guilty? Not even for a second. He earned every bit of what he got. If you enjoyed this story and felt even a tiny spark of satisfaction watching Karma land perfectly, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder. Don't underestimate the quiet ones. Tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest or most justified revenge you've ever seen in the workplace? See you in the next story.